illnesses, figure out how to lead a healthy and active lifestyle. And I word it that way because I used to have one in spite of my health issues. And then everything kind of went to hell about a year ago. I got to rebuild, but I'll get there because I'm determined. I had a better segue, but I forgot it. Do you know that clutter represents unfinished business? I think that's such an interesting way to look at it. And I saw something the other day, and it's in my saved to go back and watch later videos, but linking clutter with emotional trauma, which I think that's going to be an interesting rabbit hole to start down. But on the surface, let's talk about reasons why you should declutter and purge. This information is from the spruce.com and psychologytoday.com. And my advice at the end, which is kind of hilarious, me giving advice on clutter. But number one, you need to declutter because it's going to give you more mental space. All that clutter, it's emotionally stifling. You cannot think clearly. You cannot be creative. And it's a constant stimulus. You might think that you're walking by it and ignoring it, but in the back of your brain, there's a little voice saying, hey, wait a minute. What are you doing with this? That's a lot of unnecessary stimulus. Number two, if you declutter and purge, it's going to help shape your taste. It's going to help you learn to focus on the things that, so look, I like to keep all the things. I am very sappy ass sentimental. It's a problem because I want to keep everything. And I'll look at stuff like, I don't use this. I've never used this. I need to get rid of it. But so-and-so gave it to me. But here's the thing. If it doesn't bring me joy, why the hell am I keeping it? I can guarantee you that the person whose memory I have associated with that item, they wouldn't want me to keep it if it's not something that makes me happy, you know? Sorry, I am. I guess I don't know what the hell. Lately, it's been even harder. I don't know if it's just the Alaskan winter, but man, my health is just. Well, it's not like anything's really changed. I shouldn't put it that way, but the fibro demons and the Hashimoto's demons are really pissed off lately. I can't get them to calm down. But back to it. Sorry. I'm just so spacey. It's frustrating. It's also going to help shape your taste. If you remember, and this is something I heard from somebody a couple years ago, and it really stuck with me. And now when I see it knickknack, and I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. I want to take that home. I think, wait a minute. I have an obligation to everything that I bring into my home. I have to take care of it. Even if it's just simply moving it to dust, I have to take care of it. And once I started looking at things from that perspective, it's a lot easier to go, yeah, that's cute, but I don't want to have to deal with it. Speaking of, I know I need to take down my Christmas stuff. I'm trying to think of something else kind of bright and cheerful that I can put back there because I like the bright lights. It makes me happy in the dreary Alaskan winter. Number three, if you declutter your house, it's going to be a lot easier to clean. And if you're dealing with health issues, you need all the shortcuts you can get. But of course, it's going to be easier to clean. If you're not moving shit around to clean, everything's put away. It's a breeze to clean. It's also easier if you want to rearrange your living space. It's a hell of a lot easier if you're starting from a clean, uncluttered room. Number four reason you should declutter and purge, it's liberating. It helps you think and you're going to function better. It's going to be easier to move physically and emotionally through your space. That's kind of a hippy dippy sentence, but it's the truth. Number five, this one was really interesting to me. It's good for your waistline. What? How in the hell? There was a joint US Australian study that showed people eat more in a cluttered environment. So if you're a snacker, you might want to take a look around you. I'm sure y'all can tell. Oh, whoops, you can see my notes. I'm on a roll today. You guys can tell I like my stuff. I'm cluttered. It's a bad habit, but it's fixable. I've actually managed. I'll manage to get a small area like I want it for a couple of weeks, then it all goes back to hell. But it is doable, and this is another area where I'm not going to ever give up. I'm going to keep at it. But my advice: start small. Start with your bathroom. The bathroom's a great place to start because you're not going to have those emotional attachments I wouldn't think to stuff in your bathroom. A lot easier to get rid of things if you don't have, pictures are a terrible place to start, just for the record. Ask me how I know. Um, but start small, and then get your bathroom, or maybe it's your closet. Get that exactly how you want it, and really pay attention to how you feel when you're in that space, how calm and how serene you feel. How, maybe it's how proud you feel too, because if you're like me and you're a clutter queen, it's pretty freaking remarkable to be able to recapture some of your space. So borrow on that feeling and expand that little area of cleanliness out to the rest of your house. If you haven't, I mean, this is common knowledge. If you haven't used it in over a year, get rid of it. Why are you keeping it? If you haven't used it, you obviously do not need it. Now, I strongly urge you to donate whenever possible. Look, there's something that you have in your house that you might think, oh, I hate this thing. It's ugly and it sucks. But you know what? Everybody's tastes are different. Donate it, and somebody else who maybe can't afford to go buy something new, they can bring something into their home that makes them happy. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean somebody else won't. We're all different. Please do not unceremoniously decide to dump all of your crap off on somebody else. Hey, my sister just had a baby. I'm going to give her all my old baby stuff. Ask your sister if she wants. She probably wants some of it, but I bet she doesn't want all of it. Don't just rehome your clutter to someone that you know and love, because all you've done is made it their problem. Again, donate whenever possible. You'll feel really good. But so a few years ago, I went on a massive decluttering and purging, and I had literally bags and bags of stuff in my car, and I went over and I donated it. And it's funny because a lot of that stuff I honestly had forgotten I'd had it. It was down in the bottom of a dresser or in the back of the closet. But after I dropped it off for about 3 days, oh my gosh, I should not have gotten rid of fill in the blank. Yeah, I should have. Because you know what? I haven't wanted any of that crap since. It was just that first few days. But once I got over that, it really did make me happy to think that the stuff that was frankly bringing stress into my life is making somebody else happy. I don't know. I'm kind of a Pollyanna. I think that kind of stuff's really cool. Anyway, quick recap. 5 reasons you should declutter and purge. One, it's going to give you more mental space. All this clutter is stifling. Number two, it's going to help shape your taste. Remember, you have an obligation to anything that you bring into your home. You've got to keep it clean. Number three, speaking of cleaning, it's going to be a lot easier to clean your house if you're not cluttered. It's liberating. It's going to free up your thinking. It's going to make it so much easier for you to move through your space. And it's good for your waistline. That's science, y'all. Joint Aussie US study showed people in a cluttered environment eat more. Start small. Get one small area the way you want it and absorb those amazing feelings that you'll get from that space, and then expand that into more of your living area. Donate whenever possible. And again, please, for the love of sanity, don't dump all of your crap off on somebody else. They don't want it. If it's junk to you, it's probably junk to other people too. Oh, I shouldn't say it that way. It's not necessarily junk to other people, but don't presume that your sister or your cousin or your best friend wants your old stuff. Let people make that choice for themselves. That's why you should donate it. Y'all have a great day. Oh, by the way, if you live in Alaska, we have, they call them transfer sites. A lot of us live outside of city limits and there's no trash service. So we have to haul to these transfer sites, and it's literally just a big bank of dumpsters. Everybody goes and hauls their own trash. I guess that's kind of obvious at this point, but it's, people dumpster dive all the time. And it's funny because whenever I pull in there, I'm always thinking to myself, dropping off or picking up. I've never picked up, for the record, but a lot of times people will set things out. There's a little area at the transfer site that's roofed off for people to put things that are really recyclable, that are really usable again. And I think it's kind of cool that our community does that. Of course, the flip side, a lot of the dumpster divers just throw trash everywhere, and I think that sucks. But anyway, you guys have a good day. I'll be back at tomorrow's Sunday. I'll be back at noon, right? Tomorrow's Sunday? Yes, tomorrow's Sunday. Yeah, anyway, now I'm embarrassed. I'll be back at noon tomorrow.